You are tired. Not just physically tired, but tired in a way that goes all the way to your bones. Tired of doing everything right, showing up every single day, working harder than anyone around you, and still feeling like you are running on a treadmill that never stops. The money comes in, and before you can even exhale, it is already gone. Bills, rent, groceries, debt, and the cycle starts all over again. You lie awake at 3 a.m. doing math in your head, trying to figure out how to make it all work, and no matter how many times you run the numbers, they just do not add up. And the worst part is that you know you are not lazy. You know you are not making excuses. You are genuinely trying, and it still feels like you are sinking. That feeling is real, and it is more common than most people will ever admit out loud. Here's the thing that nobody tells you when you are in the middle of that grind. The system that most people are living inside of was never actually designed to give you financial freedom. It was designed to keep you dependent on a paycheck. Think about that for a second. Every dollar you have ever earned required you to show up somewhere, do something, and trade your time for money. And the moment you stop showing up, the money stops too. That is not wealth. That is a really expensive trap that looks like security from the outside. Now here is where things start to shift. The people who have actually broken out of that cycle did not do it by working harder. They did it by building systems that work when they are not working. They built passive income streams. And before you check out on me because you think that sounds too good to be true, or because you have heard that phrase 100 times from people trying to sell you something ridiculous, just stay with me for a moment. Because what I am about to share with you is practical, it is real, and people from every background and income level are doing it right now. Actually, before we go deeper into this, I want to mention something quickly. There is a program linked in the description of this video. I will not spend a lot of time on it right now because I want to give you real value first. But if at any point while watching this you feel like you want a structured path to apply everything we are talking about, that link is there. People who have gone through it have completely changed their financial reality, and it tends to fill up fast because the results speak for themselves. So just keep that in mind. Now let us get into this. Passive income is not a fantasy. It is a strategy. And the core idea behind it is almost embarrassingly simple. Instead of trading your time for money once, you set up something that generates money repeatedly from effort you put in one time. Think of it like building a water wheel. You do the work to build the wheel and then the river does the rest. You are not down there carrying buckets. The system carries the buckets for you. Now let us talk about the most accessible ways real people are doing this, starting with one of the most powerful but overlooked ones. Digital products. Someone sits down, creates a guide, a template, a course, a video series, something that solves a specific problem, and they sell it online. That product can sell 1,000 times without the creator doing anything extra after the initial creation. The return on the original investment of time becomes extraordinary because it compounds. 1 week of work can generate income for years. That is a completely different relationship with time and money than anything a traditional job offers. The cost of not starting is not zero. Every month that goes by without a passive income stream in place is another month where 100% of your financial security depends on things completely outside your control. Your job could change, the economy could shift, life could throw something unexpected at you, and I promise it will, because that is just how life works. When that moment comes, the people who built even a modest passive income stream are in a completely different position than those who did not. We are talking about the difference between a crisis and a minor inconvenience. Let us talk about digital content creation as another stream. People create content around topics they already know about, not necessarily glamorous topics, practical ones. How to fix specific problems, how to navigate certain situations, how to learn particular skills. That content lives on platforms that reward it with ongoing traffic, and that traffic turns into income through multiple channels simultaneously. The initial work gets done once and then continues working indefinitely. Studies across the creator economy show that content with genuine value continues to generate significant traffic and revenue for years after it is published. The effort to reward ratio expands over time rather than shrinking. Here is something that separates people who actually build passive income from people who just think about it. The ones who do it understand something called the discomfort gap. The beginning feels like more work, not less. You are putting in effort and not seeing the return yet. This is where most people quit. And ironically, this is the exact moment that determines everything. The people who push through that gap and keep building are the ones who eventually look at their bank account on a Tuesday morning when they have not done anything and see money sitting there that was not there the night before. That moment is real. It happens, but it only happens to people who did not stop before they got there. Affiliate marketing is another stream that deserves a real conversation. The core idea is matching people who need something with something that genuinely helps them, and receiving a portion of the transaction. No product to create, no inventory, no customer service in most cases. Just the work of building trust with an audience and pointing them toward things that actually solve real problems. People doing this seriously are generating income streams that run in the background of their regular lives consistently. Now let me be direct about something important. These streams do not build themselves. The people generating real passive income did not stumble into it. They learned from people who had already done it. They followed proven frameworks instead of trying to figure everything out from scratch through expensive trial and error. The difference in timeline between someone who tries to build this alone with no guidance versus someone who follows a structured path that has already been tested is enormous. We are talking about the difference between years of frustration and months of real progress. Real estate has long been the classic passive income vehicle, and for good reason. Rental income is one of the oldest forms of money working while you sleep, but the barriers to traditional real estate are significant for most people. What has changed in recent years is that there are now digital equivalents of this concept. People are building assets online that function the same way rental properties do. They require upfront investment of time or capital, and then they generate ongoing returns. Digital real estate, whether that is a website, a monetized channel, a subscription-based resource, or licensing intellectual property, all operate on this same fundamental principle. The emotional weight of financial instability is something that does not stay in one area of your life. It bleeds into everything. Your relationships carry the tension of unspoken financial stress. Your sleep is interrupted by anxiety that you cannot quite name but know is there. Your ability to be fully present with the people you love is compromised because part of your mind is always running calculations in the background. People talk about freedom as an abstract concept, but the practical reality of it is actually quite specific. It is waking up and not immediately feeling dread. It is making a decision without financial fear being the loudest voice in the room. It is having options. That is what building passive income actually gives you. Not just money. Options. Now here is a number worth sitting with. People who have diversified their income with even 1 to 2 passive streams report a 40 to 60% reduction in financial stress within the first year, even when the income from those streams is modest at first. Because the psychological shift that happens when you know money is coming in from something other than your job is profound. It changes how you carry yourself. It changes what you believe is possible for you. That shift does not require the streams to be massive. It just requires them to exist. The authority of this approach comes from decades of financial research, from studying how the wealthiest people in the world actually structure their earnings, and from the very observable pattern that people who achieve lasting financial stability almost never rely on a single income source. They build multiple streams, and in the modern world, the barriers to doing that have never been lower. The tools exist, the platforms exist, the knowledge exists. The only thing that is truly scarce is the decision to start. Let me say something that might be a little uncomfortable. Most people will watch a video like this, nod along, feel inspired for a little while, and then go back to doing exactly what they were doing before. And 2 years from now, they will be in the same place they are today, maybe worse, wondering why nothing has changed. A smaller group of people will decide that today is actually the day something changes. Not someday. Not when the timing is perfect. Today. If you are in that second group, the program linked in the description of this video is built for you. It pulls everything we have talked about into a concrete, step-by-step path built around real strategies that are working right now, not theoretical ones from a textbook. The people who go through it and actually apply it come out on the other side with real streams they built, not ones they just read about. This is not the kind of thing that gets easier to start the longer you wait. Every day without a system working for you is a day that cost you something you cannot get back. That cost is real whether you feel it today or not. The link is right there in the description. If this resonated with you in any way, that is not an accident. That is recognition. And recognition without action is the most expensive thing most people will ever pay for without realizing it.